I would first like to acknowledge that the city we live in is on the unceded territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh First Nations. Thank you for having me. I'd like to share a little bit about myself and why I'm standing with you here today. I'm a 32-year-old embarking on a new mission as a broadcasting and journalism student at BCIT. I was born at Grace Hospital, which is now called the Children's Hospital, and my first language spoken was Greek thanks to my mother. I was considered a sensitive child, but dubbed bossy because I always spoke up. I am now considered insubordinate. Thank you. In 2015, I was fired from WestJet after close to a decade of service as a flight attendant. The reason? I spoke out about systemic sexual harassment against female flight attendants. In 2010, I was sexually assaulted by a pilot on a layover in Hawaii and went through the full gamut of the reporting system. I told the police, I told WestJet, and went through the pain of sharing it with my family. I was determined to do the right thing and was genuinely surprised when the company responded recklessly. I was told it was my word against his. They tried to force me to sign a non-disclosure agreement and told me to keep quiet. I did not stay quiet. I spoke out at a company training session where I argued the company's lack of sexual harassment training, and a few months later I got a phone call from a woman who heard my remarks and told me she was sexually assaulted by the same pilot 2 years prior. This was the turning point. Shortly after, I was fired via email for insubordination while on disability leave for PTSD. I filed a lawsuit against WestJet for wrongful dismissal and negligence in response to my complaint. Within hours of publicly sharing my story, half a dozen women came forward from WestJet, resulting in the current class action lawsuit against the company. We had a wave of women reaching out, not just from WestJet, sharing their stories, telling me they had been through the same thing, telling me too. The media made a huge impact on how the process unfolded, and I garnered a deep respect for their ability to change our world through the power of storytelling. Our goal with the class action lawsuit is to set a precedent for women across the Canadian work sector. Employers must be held accountable for being negligent in addressing sexual harassment complaints. Yes. In 2014, Angus Reid's survey found that 43% of women have been sexually harassed at work. Widespread change needs to take place because enough is enough. Enough is enough. The support I've received has created an armor for me through this battle, preserving my moral determination while cushioning the ongoing judicial grind. I believe Me Too has created a space in our time for us to find allies and the solidarity of one another. It is vital to be taking care of ourselves as individuals. Resilience tactics, giving yourself compassion, love, and patience to foster healing. Being outdoors near the ocean has helped me tremendously, and I have recultivated my relationship with the natural world. I am thankful and privileged to have had strong support, access to various therapies, and education. Due to this privilege, I feel it is my responsibility to take this battle on for those who may not be able to. In solidarity, thank you very much for having me.